channel. Today I wanted to go over one of my favorite units I've gotten to play so far, Panther. If any of you remember me from Gundam Evolution, you know I love melee units. Mecha Break is no exception to that. Do note that this information I'm going to be going over is from the closed beta test, so things are still subject to change. With that done, let's start going over Panther's kit. Panther's kit includes a reinforced complex shield, basic complex shield, a shield booster kit, lance, and a shield blade. Panther is a pure melee only unit with a strong emphasis on tank and burst capabilities. For starters, let's go over Panther's weapon. Panther is equipped with a lance as the primary source of damage, followed by the shield blade. The shield blade is equipped onto Panther's secondary weapon slot, so you can technically have both weapons active at the same time. However, you will have to swap out your frontal complex shield for the shield blade as they occupy the same weapon slot. Both weapons will require the energy gauge to actually be able to use, so just keep that energy gauge up and pay attention to it if you plan on using it for an attack. You can also hold the charge once at max to position yourself for the lance attack. Do note that this can only be done when the Panther is grounded. Panther will not be able to initiate the charge when in the air, and the charge will also cancel at any point if you end up jumping with Panther. Regarding the shield blade, the shield blade uses fairly quick and light attacks, but they still pack quite a bit of punch. They're very good to use to combo after the initial lance attack, or you can use them just on their own for quick, simple hits. I do believe the shield blade also has a slam attack that can bypass through parryable complex shields when above units, but I didn't actively look to test this. I seem to recall a moment that this happened for me, but take that information with a grain of salt. I'll look at it more once the game officially releases or in the next open beta test if they end up having one. Now to go over Panther's defensive options. The unit is equipped with two types of complex shields. Reinforced complex shields is an AoE deployable complex shield that will block damage from all sides of Panther. The other complex shield that Panther has is a larger frontal complex shield. Note that the description mentions that both of these complex shields have the options to block melee attacks, but I personally only tested with the basic complex shield. I was not aware of this till I went to go review Panther's overall kit. Normally I just have the reinforced complex shield active, so I never thought about using it for parries, and in my opinion the frontal complex shield is good enough for parry options, as typically you'll be facing the enemies and it can still block from the sides. The last thing to note about Panther's kit is the shield booster kit. When this kit is activated, it will fully restore all of Panther's complex shields to max capacity along with this energy gauge. This doesn't affect Panther's fluid shields, however, so keep that in mind. This does make his arsenal a lot more deadly, as Panther can fully recharge his shields at a moment's notice for defensive options, while also gaining his energy gauge back to either chase, attack, or get away. With the total amount of shields he has available, I would say he's one of the tankiest units in the game, in terms of straightforward defensive options at the very least. And this is outside of the Tricera. I would still say Tricera is the tankiest unit by far, but with how mobile Panther is as an overall pure melee unit, I would say he is the second most when it comes to defensive options. Good example of this was I had a separate game where I had no HP left over and was forced into a fight with a Falcon. The Falcon is one of those units with no shield piercing options, so against a unit like Panther with what seems like endless amounts of shields, I was able to finish it off despite having no health left over. You can simply do this by rotating in your complex shield options and your fluid shield options. Once one is about to deplete, simply activate your shield booster kit to replenish your energy gauge as well as all your complex shields. This let me tank enough of the damage to be able to fight against the Falcon and end up destroying it. If I can find the clip, I'll put it here. Now, as someone that loves melee options, good or bad, I'm happy that Panther is in the game as an option. You can expect me to probably play this unit more on release. If there are other units you are excited to try out in Mecha Break and want to see, feel free to let me know. I will try to cover as many as I can in the time period that I have. In the meantime, thanks for those that stopped by, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Peace.